Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Firearms of America. And usually I do enjoy doing expensive boot reviews on this channel, but you can ask, what about some cheap hiking boots? Well, today for our ultimate survival section, I have some pretty cheap, pretty affordable hiking shoes, hiking boots for you guys. And these are from Skechers. They're called Relmond Pelmo Chukka. Yeah, and they are waterproof hiking boots. And let me tell you guys, if you don't want to watch the whole review, if you're looking to buy these boots, go ahead, buy them. They are great. They're very comfortable. They are pretty lightweight, if I can say that, of course, without comparing them to stuff like boots from Salomon, for example. But one thing I wanted to mention, if you are buying these boots, is make sure to get at least half a size bigger, because they run a little bit smaller than usual. I usually get my hiking boots in the size 10, but this ones I would actually get at least 10 and a half or 11, maybe even 11. But other than that, go ahead, great boots, buy them. The link is in the description below. If you have time to watch the whole review, let's get into it. This review is specifically, like I said, for ultimate survival boots. So we actually gonna be a little bit harder on this boot, not just quick hiking review. Yeah, great boot for hiking, not just hiking, for your survival. So very important. So let's do it. Criteria number 1 is walking, running, length of wearing, and overall comfort level of this boot, doing all the above. So the test that I've done was a 3-mile run, 5-mile walk after the run, of course, and the total wearing time was about 6 or 7 hours. So I was wearing them without taking them off for about 6 or 7 hours. Let me tell you, surprisingly, they are pretty comfortable to walk in. Yes, I thought they would be a little bit uncomfortable considering that they are sort of heavy, but they were pretty comfortable. And also whenever it comes to running, because they have this very nice inner sole, which is sort of jelly. It is very soft. It is unbelievably soft. It feels really good. Whenever you're wearing this boot, it just feels amazing. That gel feeling that kind of shapes and molds to the shape of your foot, and it really feels great. So I think that kind of what makes up to this boots being sort of on the heavier side. Like I said, they're still sort of lightweight, but they are definitely heavier than more expensive hiking boots like the ones from Salomon. And another minor complaint that I would have is that the bottom sole is not very flexible, so it's kind of hard to run properly in this boot. So you definitely start feeling a little bit of pressure on your ankles and on your knees after about 2 miles of run. But like I said, because they do have that very nice inner sole, it kind of makes up for that. So number 2, stuff proof. They are waterproof, which is really nice, really cool feature. And of course, they do have some extra reinforcement, which isn't really a lot. Now, it looks like it's a hard surface here, like it's a hard rubber or something. It actually is not very hard. It's sort of a leathery feeling, so you don't really get a lot of protection, but you do get some, so that's nice. And then they have a little bit of a harder surface on the back, which is also sort of leathery type of feel, but nevertheless it is a little bit harder, so you would have a little bit more protection there on the heel and the back, and of course a little bit of ankle protection as well. So pretty nice. Quality wise, if you can see, there are more than 500 reviews and most of them are 5 stars, so that's tells you a lot about the quality. And I mean, Skechers, they are a pretty good brand. I know they had a few mess ups here and there in their history, especially with their shapers that supposedly would help you shape, I guess, your legs being fit, which was not exactly true. But nevertheless, they did offer the refund for all of those shapers after they discovered that they actually do not work. Anyway, completely different story. Nevertheless, they never had problems like that with their hiking boots, so we can't really compare. Okay, let's talk about the sole grip slip resistance. Now, whenever it comes to sole grip slip, mouthful. Sole grip slip resistance, we are talking about, of course, the bottom sole. And bottom sole here is pretty interesting. Now, they did a pretty good job with it, meaning that it is versatile. Now, as you can see, they do have some aggression going on here. And at the same time, there are some flat surfaces that would be good on flat surfaces. Yeah, I know it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But here's the thing. Whenever you have a flat surface, like for example, this desk right here, or a shiny surface like tile, that flat surface kind of creates that grip with it if the grooves are shaped properly. That's what gives that a slip resistance. But at the same time, on surfaces like snow or wet grass, you would want to have that aggression in order for that bottom sole to bite into that terrain and hold you and give you that stability and traction. So Skechers did a pretty good job balancing it out. It's not fantastic, but again, for a cheap on the budget boot, pretty good, which we didn't mention the price, but we will talk about it when we get to the price. Okay, so let's talk about the temperature. Number 5. Now, the tests that I've done were in Florida heat, 95 degrees. It was very hot, but nevertheless, my feet did not overheat, at least not by a lot, which, I mean, you would expect. Pretty good job they did with breathability. Because they're waterproof, usually you do get some sacrifice of breathability with the boots being waterproof, but Skechers did a pretty good job. And of course, as you can see, there is some sort of insulation here, which would be pretty good in cold weather as well. So again, pretty good balance in that aspect. Number 6, the sizing, and I already mentioned that they do run a little bit small, so get half size bigger, it would be good. Number 7 is balance of application. Now, this is the most important one for our ultimate survival section, because if that was the last boot that you would put on before you run out of your house in the case of emergency, catastrophe, natural disaster, war, whatever your post-apocalyptic mind can come up with, and this was the last boot that you put on, would it be good? Would it be good in all of these different situations that you might encounter? Running, walking for very long distances without taking these boots off, swimming, climbing, all of these things. I think this boot is pretty good overall, pretty flexible. Now, like I said, it is not very comfortable to run in for a very long time, but because it has a very, very nice inner sole, I think you would love this inner sole because it's just so soft. It feels really, really comfortable. Just make sure to get the right size. Let's talk a little bit about the features now. Now, the features, as you can see, the hardware is metal, which is pretty nice. As a standard feature of a normal typical hiking boot, you would find this hook mechanism here, which kind of breaks down the tightening process into two. Basically, it's done so that if you're going downhill or up the hill, you can release that tension here on the top quickly. It's pretty good. Now, it's pretty simple to put this boot on your foot, obviously your foot. It's pretty easy to put these boots on, and I think that's pretty important whenever it comes to survival situations, obviously, because you want something to put that you can put on quickly. Again, they are waterproof. They do offer some protection. The bottom sole is pretty versatile, and of course this amazing inner sole. Now, this is absolutely fantastic. I think that's like the best part of this boot. All right, now the very last part, the number 8 criteria, is the price. Now, the price is, if you can find it, they run at about $50, which is amazing, which is, I think, so far on this channel, is the cheapest boot that I ever reviewed. Pretty amazing. For $50, you're getting all of these features. I think it's really good. Skechers, they're pretty competitive with that. But depending on the size, depending on the color that you want, they might run up all the way to $140. So if you want to save money, try to get the color that is available for cheaper. And, because they do have actually 4 different colors that you can see by clicking on the link in the description below. They have gray, they have khaki, which I think this is what it is. I'm pretty sure this is what it is. And then they have gray sweat, and then they have khaki sweat. I guess it's the different texture of the fabric on the top. So overall, if you are looking at it to get a cheap hiking boot, I think you're gonna love this. I think they are definitely good for $50. I think you can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong. If you're not very serious about hiking and you just do some trailing here and there, occasionally, not for too long, I think you will enjoy this boot. I think they will be great. But if you are serious about hiking, I would recommend checking out a few Salomon reviews that I have done on this channel. Check those boots out because they are absolutely amazing boots for hiking. And of course, if you're looking for ultimate survival boots, you might want to subscribe and you might want to check out our whole section on ultimate survival boots, because so far we've done a lot and we have the clear leaders in that category. So definitely check it out. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments, if you have any suggestions or anything, any requests, you can let me know in the comments below and I will be happy to address them. This was Firearms of America. I'll see you guys in the next video.